Donald Trump apparently wanted to court-martial a retired Navy SEAL. In fact, a Navy SEAL who led the bin Laden mission. And it's all because he had the audacity to criticize Trump publicly. Now, Trump apparently wanted to take the extraordinary step of reactivating retired US Navy Admiral William McRaven so that he could court-martial the former Navy SEAL commander for criticizing him. In fact, this is one of the latest revelations that we're now learning about through former Secretary of Defense Mark Esper. Esper also writes that he and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley, had to talk then President Trump out of a plan to recall both retired US Army General Stanley McChrystal and McRaven to active duty, as a way to open the two former senior military officers up to court-martial proceedings. Now, Esper told him, listen, this is not a good idea. It's gonna backfire, we shouldn't do it. Esper also writes that Trump was spun up by media stories in Breitbart claiming that McChrystal was advertising Democrats on how to use artificial intelligence to track down and counter Trump supporters. So I got more on this story, but it did remind me of an interview that Trump had with Chris Wallace, who was at Fox News at the time before he jumped ship for CNN. And he was very triggered by McRaven. Let's hear what he had to say at the time.
Bill McRaven, retired admiral, Navy SEAL, 37 years, former head of US Special Operations.
Hillary Clinton fan.
Special Operations.
Excuse me, Hillary Clinton fan.
Who led the operations, commanded the operations that took down Saddam Hussein and that killed Osama bin Laden, says that your sentiment is the greatest threat to democracy in his lifetime.
He's a Hillary Clinton backer and an Obama backer. And frankly,
he was a Navy SEAL.
Wouldn't it have been nice if we got Osama bin Laden a lot sooner than that? Wouldn't it have been nice?
Becker, like Trump always sounds like he's climaxing when he's talking. It's very uncomfortable. But anyway, no, I mean, wouldn't it be better if we caught Osama bin Laden faster? I mean, did you think that you would catch him faster? I mean, like, what kind of critique is that? It's hilarious. By the way, to be fair, there was a moment, if I recall correctly, during the Bush administration where they could have captured Osama bin Laden, but they let that opportunity go. But putting that aside completely, no, this is a guy who can't handle any criticism and will turn to any type of questionable method to retaliate against those who dare cross him. And honestly, I wish that we could bottle that up and inject like 1/3 of that into the Democratic Party. Just keeping it real.
Yeah, well, thank you for putting that uncomfortable thought into our heads. Look at the backer. Norway. Antifa. Okay, anyways. So look, guys, in the old days, if you had anyone saying the head of Navy SEALs that captured bin Laden should be court-martialed because he dared to criticize me. By the way, again, from the party that says they're for free speech. Hilarious. In the old days, that would have been incredibly damaging. That would have ended a politician's career, especially if it was a Democrat. Now, is it gonna make a difference? Of course not. It's just so easy. The MAGA guys will believe anything. Before they're like, Navy SEAL Team 6, that's a real man, okay? Not these people going into the wrong bathroom, Navy SEAL Team 6. Now Trump says, I don't like them, they're Hillary backers. Now all the MAGA guys will be like, oh, Navy SEAL Team 6, man, they're going to the wrong bathrooms, they're the worst. We should block them, I hate Navy SEAL Team 6, oh yeah, they're the worst. They're betas. They'll do it, they'll flip on a dime. It doesn't matter. All he has to do, anything that comes out of that idiot's mouth, the other idiot's parrot, nothing matters. And now, and look at where he got the theory about McChrystal, the other general. McChrystal, by the way, was fired for criticizing Obama publicly. I see a TYT contributor, Michael Hastings, broke that story, and McChrystal was like relieved of duty. Like, so McChrystal's no liberal, okay, at all. He's just seems like, hey.
Cenk. No, I mean, you're talking about Obama here, but McChrystal, he's a big Hillary Clinton backer.
That's so.
Just kidding.
He's referring to McRaven on that one. For McChrystal, Like there's nothing to say that but Breitbart wrote an article about how he's actually using artificial intelligence to help the left track Trump supporters. Really? They tracked them to what? When did that ever happen?
No, it's amazing. It's amazing. Sorry, Jake. I know I'm interrupting you too much. I'm playing your role today. But no, let me just make a quick point. Sorry. Let me just make a quick point. Like Breitbart and all of these right-wing publications and shows, like they know they're doing propaganda and they know they're deceiving right-wing voters, right? But like Trump isn't smart enough to know that. So he takes what they report at face value. And it's just so hilarious.
No, that's actually exactly what I was gonna get to. Trump is the original conspiracy theorist. And guys, it's not a strategy. He actually believes it. You give him any conspiracy theory and he'll believe it. I mean, later in the show, we're gonna tell you one of his own staffers said that he thought that China might be firing hurricanes at us from a hurricane gun. Remember, he's the original. He's the original birther when Obama, the whole asking for the birth certificate, the long form birth certificate, that was Donald Trump. No, he genuinely believes it. He's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So yeah, of course he believes this stuff, and it's outrageous that he's attacking the guy who got Bin Laden, but MAGA will not be outraged. They will flip all of their positions instantly. But one more thing about that, Anna, you remember how the press told us our whole lives that the Republican voters care about the deficit, they care about free trade, and they care about all. Remember, that was all made up. That's what the donors and the corporations cared about. And they put that on Republican voters. Republican voters never cared about any of that stuff. All they wanted was an authoritarian leader who would say absurd things and hate the other side. That's exactly what Trump is. One of the dumbest guys in the world, and the Republican voters are like, that's it, that's my guy. That's my guy. The only thing they care about is hating the other side.
Well, I mean, look, Donald Trump provides entertainment for them. They love going to his rallies because they find it entertaining. Donald Trump has created this reality show atmosphere in politics, which usually overwhelmingly Americans are not paying attention to politics. But he radicalized and politicized a bunch of people and honestly made them far more extreme on the right. And what is the Democrat response to that?
The Democrat
I mean, but that's the point. That's the point that I'm trying to make, right? So it's one thing to be critical of right-wing voters, but right-wing voters are getting something from their party. Whereas on the Democratic side, what are we getting other than, sorry, we can't do anything for you because we have all of these random arbitrary roadblocks that we refuse to do anything about, and we just like to use them as excuses. Also, oh my God, the election is coming up, so MAGA bad, vote for us. Okay, good job.
Anna, I really gotta disagree with you on this one because the Democrats also have dynamic leaders in Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden.
I know, Cenk, but the other thing that you failed to mention is that Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and Joe Biden are Hillary Clinton backers. So something to think about. But they really are, actually.
And I bet they even like Norway.
No, do not like Norway. They're like, stop telling us about how great things are in Norway. We're not gonna do any of that for you. Buzz off.
That's true.
That's the message from the Democratic Party.